it's Cara, and today we're doing my Sims-A-Thon TBR. I am wearing new sweet legs, so I'm very happy and very comfy. Thanks to Books and Lala for getting me onto sweet legs. So I'm going to be talking about the books today for the Outdoor Retreat expansion pack, because they're the ones I've planned because I really want to complete it. And then I've also have a bunch of other books kind of like floating around in the universe that I might try and get to. And most of these, almost exclusively, there's only a couple of exceptions, are spoopy, somehow dark themed, witchy, otherwise very atmospheric books, because it's October, it's Halloween. We don't really celebrate Halloween in Australia, but I'm all here for the vibes. So for the Outdoor Retreat expansion pack, there are 6 challenges. If you complete all 6, you get bonus points, so we're here for that. And each of them individually worth 3 points. So the first one is take a vacation to Granite Falls. That's the like outdoor retreat location in Sims 4. And for this, the prompt is to reread an old favorite. For that, I'm going to be reading Jinx by Meg Cabot. You feel the witchy vibes. I'm listening to this on audiobook. It's on Scribd, so I'm going to be listening to this. It's from my memory, I've only read it once a long time ago, but I was wanting something witchy vibing that I could get on audiobook that I've read before, so an old fave. This is witchy. I believe it's like spells gone wrong from my memory, but it's short, it's on audiobook, it should be fast and easy to get through. The next one is purchase camping equipment, and that's a book that ends on an odd page number, and for that I'm going to be reading Serpent and Dove by Shelby Maheron. This is a very witchy book. We follow, what's the character's name? Lou, who is a witch, and she ends up in an arranged marriage to Reed, who is a witch hunter. Everyone is talking about this at the moment. Everyone's reading it really highly, and I'm really excited to read it, even though it's pretty chunky. It's like over 500 pages, but I'm so keen. Then the next one is Explore the Forest, read an atmospheric book, and for that I'm going to be reading There Will Come a Darkness by Katie Rose Poole. This is a fantasy, one of the like cast of characters kind of fantasy. We have like 6 different, or 5, sorry, 5 I can count 5 different characters that all play different roles, you know, that trope. So we have a prince exiled from his kingdom, a ruthless killer known as the Pale Hand, a once faithful leader torn between his duty and his heart, a reckless gambler with the power to find anything or anyone, and a dying girl on the verge of giving up. This is probably the least spoopy of my spoopy reads, because it's hard to tell, but this like red, black, white thing is really giving me atmospheric feels, and it feels very full, so I'm keen to read this. And it is a gorgeous red under the cover, like I'm so excited for this. The next challenge is to collect insects, which is to read a book with a bug or insect on the cover. For that I'm going to be reading Milk and Honey by Ruby Kaur Poetry. I really struggled to find something with a bug on the cover that I hadn't already read, that I could get my hands on easily. This is poetry, so it's going to be fast and easy. I know it's not spoopy or anything. This is one of the exceptions to the rule, but it should hopefully go by really fast and I can tick it off really quickly. And I'm like one of the only people that hasn't read this. I don't have high expectations for it, but it'll go fast regardless. The next one I'm also reading poetry for, obviously, and that's Sing a Song Around the Campfire, just to read a book in poetry or in verse, book of poetry or a book in verse. And for this I'm going to actually read a little bit more spoopy book. That's To Make Monsters Out of Girls by Amanda Lovelace, which seems pretty spoopy, monstery, but also dark, hard-hitting. Metaphors, poetry. I'm really excited for this one. I think I will really like the Amanda Lovelace poetry, so I'm excited to read this. And both of these are available on Scribd, so if you're looking for poetry, check out Scribd. There's heaps of options. And finally, for the Outdoor Retreat expansion pack, the final challenge is to gain a herbalism skill. My cat's going nuts. to gain a herbalism skill, and that's to pair a book with a brew. And I picked A Map of Days for this by Ransom Riggs, which I was trying to read in September, but it just never happened. It never like lined up right. But because of this very like sepia toned cover, it's really giving me like chai vibes. And I have a box of loose leaf chai teas to try out, so I'm gonna pair this with some chai tea. And then for the rest of the month, I'm gonna try and be reading mostly spoopy stuff that I have on my TBR, and just adding them to the base game challenges as I read them to try and maximize points. So there might be some books I carry over from the end of this month. I'm not sure where I'm going to be at by then. Some other ones I hope to read include House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin A. Craig. This is a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling, and it looks really, really good. Everyone's been raving about it. I want to also read Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, which it's Ninth House. I don't even know what to say about it. Everyone's been talking about it. You should know about it by now. Very dark. It comes out right at the start of the month, and I already have a pre-order set to arrive, so I'm very excited about that. I don't know why I'm doing this. Another pre-order I have for like the one other spoopy book on this TBR is Cries War by Nina Varela, I think. I'm so excited for this. This is a female android science fiction story. I'm just so excited, and the cover is so pretty, so I'll probably be reading that like as soon as it gets in my hands. We also have The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd-Jones, which is a necromancy fae kind of story. I think they are gravediggers. I like Emily Lloyd-Jones's writing, and I'm really excited to read this. It looks so good. A Treason of Thorns by Laura E. Weymouth. This features like an alive house. That sounds awesome. A house left unchecked will lead to ruin, but I will not let it ruin me. I'm pretty sure the house is like alive and has magic and stuff. Oh, the atmosphere of these books. I'm just so excited for so many of them for their like spooky vibes. We also have Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab, which is the sequel to City of Ghosts. You feel it's very suitable for the season, and is a middle grade, so it's got short writing and it's not very like big writing, and it's not very long, so this should fly past. Caster by Elsie Chapman, which is about witches. I believe they use some magic that's more than they can bargain for. Azelrune knows that real magic is dangerous and illegal. After all, casting killed her sister Shire. That sounds so good. I'm so excited for this. And it's not very long, so I hope it will fly by. And a couple of audiobooks I plan on reading. We have The Turn of the Key by Ruth Ware, which everyone's been reading and is making me really excited for it. I did read a different thriller this past month and really enjoyed it. So I'm kind of like dipping my toes more into thrillers. I went through a big stage of reading like crime thrillers, and I'm starting to dip my toes into like other types of thrillers, but this one looks really good. It's a Turn of the Screw modern retelling, and Turn of the Screw is one of Jesse's favorite books that he read in school, so I'm excited. We also have Neverworld Wake, which is about a group of kids that die in a car accident, and they're in like a limbo that they have to relive the same day over and over again. Sounds amazing. The Word is Murder by Anthony Horowitz. This is another like crimey kind of thriller, I think. I've had this on my shelf for a while because I love Anthony Horowitz. It's like a detective, an author who I think is writing the story but is being drawn into it, and he's not quite in control of what's going on. Yes, I'm excited for this, and it's available on audiobooks, so that's gonna be another audiobook. And also The Disturbed Girls Dictionary by Nanika Ramos, and this is a like asylum kind of story, I think, but also available on audiobook, so I'm really excited about this as well. So those are all the books I have on my Sims-A-Thon TBR. Of course, most of them don't fit to specific challenges, or I haven't put them to specific challenges today, and that's because they probably actually fit for a lot of them. I do have in my notebook some ideas of what challenges they could go for written down, but I don't know how many of these I'll actually get to, etc, etc. We'll just try and do our best. This also includes some things that I'm currently reading that I think I won't quite finish by the end of the month and stuff. So yeah, I might finish all of these and be like finding other things to read on my shelf that are spoopy. I do have a few other ones in mind, but I'm not going to make any promises for any of them. I'm going to kind of keep my... for a month, this TBR is achievable if I get back my reading groove. I think I balanced it out that it would be like 3 books a week, 3 physical reads a week, which I can, at my peak I was doing 4. So I think I can manage 3. But we'll see. And hopefully a lot of them are fast reads as well. So I will see you soon with another video. This one was a bit chaotic, but let me know your... Trixie, my black cat, is attacking my tripod. It's just that season, isn't it, babe? It's just that season. But anyway, I'll see you soon with another video. Comment down below and link me if you have a link to your Sims-A-Thon TBR, or otherwise share with me what you're hoping to read in the month of October. And otherwise, I will see you soon with another video. Bye!